I know what you're thinking. This kid, me, is crazy. And now you're gonna go write an angry comment about how Legends Arceus is the best game ever, blah blah blah. Okay? Stop. Stop writing that angry comment, okay? Um, I love Pokemon. It is my favorite franchise. I started playing when I was 7, and now I'm 14, so half my life, if you can do math. Uh, so basically, yeah, alright? So, I'm just tired of people saying Legends Arceus is a near flawless game when it isn't. It has flaws, okay? Specifically, 2. Its battling and its replayability as a video game. Battling is the much more obvious issue, while replayability is a lot more subtle. So first, let's talk about the battling. And when it comes to like following the Pokemon formula, battling, catching, exploration, story, Legends Arceus has the worst battling in the franchise, period. Alright? Like, objectively. Basically, they took turn-based battling and made it so bad that it felt more like gambling rather than battling. Basically, instead of both parties selecting their move at the same time and then the Pokemon attack based on who's faster, Legends Arceus introduced what I like to call the power of style mastery battling. How it works is that instead of the classic turn-based battle system that most of us have lived through until that point, they made it so that Pokemon can have multiple turns in a row based on the move itself, how fast the user is, and what style you use the move in. And instead of both parties picking their attacks at the same time, the opposing party attacks and then you can pick your move. There are 2 styles of moves that you can use to manipulate both the moves and the turn order in the future of the battle. Strong style, which boosts the move's power and accuracy to 100%, while reducing the amount of turns as a drawback. There's its counterpart, agile style, which lowers the power, and I'm not sure if it lowers accuracy, but it increases the amount of turns that you have in the future. The problem with this is that it felt like less like, okay, you attack, now it's my turn, and more like, let's gamble to see if I can attack. To be more accurate, the battle system felt very, very inconsistent for the player's case. Like, sometimes agile style just doesn't do anything even though you haven't used it the entire battle, and your opponent can somehow always chain 2 weaker attacks into a strong style move, and you can't do anything about it. And while yes, sometimes you can do that too, the opportunity is so rare that it'll rarely come out when it matters. To have even less consistently, usually to balance out the whole multiple moves in a row thing, whenever you knock out a Pokemon, you will lose a turn or 2, depending on if you use strong style or not. However, sometimes this just doesn't apply to the opponent. Like, if they KO you, they don't lose any turns. I am so thankful we didn't get online battling in Legends Arceus, because if we did, it would be the lowest online battling had ever been. So that's the battling issue. And now let's talk about the more subtle, yet deeper issue. Replayability. But first, let me ask you something. How many of you have played Legends Arceus and beat Volga? Most of you said yes, right? I did too. How many of you have completed the Pokédex and caught Arceus? Again, I assume more of you said yes than no, but less than the first question. Alright, now how many of you have replayed Legends Arceus just to re-experience the game? No challenges, no Nuzlocke, no anything. Just to re-experience the game and feel that same sense of wonder that you first did when you first played through it. Or like, recreate it. You can't get the exact same feeling. I'm guessing most of you said no, but some people probably have said yes. How many people who said yes got bored during their playthrough? I'm assuming most of those people did say yes. This is because Legends Arceus is a one-time hit. Basically, after your first playthrough, the game gets kinda dull, and replaying it doesn't really feel that great. Let's compare it to what I'm sure most people have also compared Legends Arceus to. Breath of the Wild. I am sure I'm not the only person said Legends Arceus is just Breath of the Wild plus Pokemon. So, yeah. However, to anybody who has played Breath of the Wild, most people have replayed the game and felt good about it. I did this too, alright? I have replayed Breath of the Wild. It's a great game, 10 out of 10. However, I am sure that Legends Arceus did not feel that great, alright? This is due to its very quickly dulling story, or like it's specifically lore-based story, and its dull, tedious, grindy gameplay loop. To prove this, let's take the two newest Pokemon games, Scarlet and Violet and Pokemon Legends ZA. Does anybody remember that one final update that Nintendo pushed out for their Switch 1 right before the Switch 2 came out? Remember how that was causing people to lose a bunch of their digital data? Yeah, I was one of those. And Pokemon Violet is when I started using digital over physical. And I lost all of my 400 hours, or over 400 hours actually, in Pokemon Violet. Because Pokemon doesn't have backup saves for some reason. Thanks, Pokemon. But I had to replay the whole game, and I was devastated, right? So, I just replayed it again over the summer. And I honestly felt pretty good re-experiencing the story, because the story, I hadn't experienced the story in a long time. I'd beaten both the main game and DLC a long time ago. And I was reminded just how good the characters and story are. And when I played Legends ZA, I felt, like, the story was good. Like, especially, the characters were the best part. They just had so much personality and character in them. So, and honestly, Legends Arceus just felt like they didn't have that much character. Its story was too lore-focused, basically. Legends Arceus' story was focused on amazing you with revealing lore. Except that doesn't work a second time. It has, like, no, like, emotional part. It has no emotional part to the story. And the characters don't really feel like they have all that much personality or effort put into them. It started in Scarlet and Violet. So, and Legends Arceus' gameplay loop, it's not that great. It's, like, really tedious and grindy. Let's take the gameplay loop of Legends Arceus and Legends ZA. Legends ZA is going to be my main basis for comparing Legends Arceus, because they're both Legends games and very similar and all that. Legends Arceus' gameplay loop is this. You unlock a new area, you get a ride Pokemon, you get a Noble, or you fight the Noble, specifically, and you explore the area and get enough research tasks to unlock the new area, alright? ZA's gameplay loop is you get a promotion match or 3 new Rogue Megas. I don't really remember the exact order, but you get Rogue Megas. You fight Rogue Megas. Your promotional match gets announced. You do a whole side quest relating to it. You get your challenger's ticket, beat them, repeat. All right. The reason ZA's gameplay loop felt a lot tighter is because there's also some funny moments during the gameplay loop, specifically at the end of the gameplay loop, when you were having dinner with Tawny and Urbane, Navita, and Lita. Basically, like, it felt fun just to, like, listen to them, and because, again, the characters in Legends ZA are the best the series have ever been. And yes, while ZA has a bit of grindiness in its, gameplay loop, due to all the battling and earning promotional tickets, it isn't the same as Legends Arceus, because Legends Arceus is super, super grindy, just having to catch Pokemon and do research tasks, whereas Legends ZA is just battling people, and people have already found out ways to cheese the whole ZA Royale and get your tickets really fast anyways. You can't really cheese the research tasks. And yes, ZA's DLC is very grindy, but we are not talking about ZA's DLC. We are talking about Legends Arceus and the base game of DLC. Legends Arceus. Or ZA, my bad. And basically, ZA's gameplay loop is also a lot more fun due to the Rogue Megas, aka its equivalent of Nobles. The equivalent of Nobles just being a lot more fun to fight versus the Nobles of Legends Arceus, alright? Legends Arceus just had you throwing sandbags at them, and you weren't even using your Pokemon. It was a Pokemon boss fight without Pokemon battling. Like, yeah, sure, there was that small little window, but it barely mattered. Whereas Legends ZA, you actually have to use your Pokemon to beat the Rogue Megas, and each Rogue Mega is very, very unique. And, yeah, and there's a lot more of them, too. And while Legends Arceus' Nobles are also are very unique, there's only 5 of them. So, yeah. And Legends Arceus gets really, really, really tedious and grindy. And if you really wanted to do in a second playthrough, it gets really bad. And you start to see signs of this in the late parts of the playthrough. And even worse, the research tasks are made so bad because you are constantly being targeted by Pokemon that want to maul you, burn you, freeze you, electrocute you, and maul you. So yeah. So that's why Legends Arceus is kinda overrated, but it is still a really good game overall, especially with its other traits. This is my first real video, by the way, so tell me what you guys thought of it as a video. Do you agree with my thoughts? Hit like and subscribe if you liked the video and stayed this far. And also click the hype button, as it helps smaller creators like me get more views.